welcome to Cosmos with Bailey. I'm Bailey and I'm a clairvoyant psychic medium and spiritual healer based in New Zealand. Welcome. So, yes, today's video was something that I witnessed and also have been observing. And this is the phenomenon of energy transference. And wearing other people's energy, or almost like energy like jumping between auras. And a really big, it's very, very common because we all embody spiritual energies. We all have an aura and an energy body, and we are all sort of conglomerated together. And sometimes what can happen is that it's very easy to lose your sense of self. And it's also very easy to sort of take yourself down a pathway that's not really truly who you are or that you're resonant with as a unique person. And sometimes what happens, especially if you want to fit in or you want to be accepted, is that we can enter into groupings of people or situations or jobs or ways of life because we want to fit in with the energy around us, and it may not be the energy that's right for us. So it's very, very common, especially if you are very energetically aware and or also if you are very empathic. We are all naturally empathic, but also if you have had childhood or teen trauma where you weren't respected as an individual, you're going to find that as you grow up into adulthood that your energy body, you're not going to be able to differentiate between who you want should be spending time with and who you're not, and you just can sort of jump into energies and then just wear the energy around you in an effort to fit in, and it's super unconscious until you become aware of it. Everyone does it to some extent, but I was just witnessing it. And so you can do this online where you want to become a part of a grouping, and you go and join, and you sort of lose your sense of self or your energetic understanding of yourself within this group because you want to become a part of the group, but you may do it without not even realizing. It's very common. And what happens when you sort of take on the energy of others in an effort to be friends, or you want to be a part of a certain grouping because maybe they look really good, or you don't have a lot of friends. There's many things that could happen. It sounds like teens to me. You could just end up taking on the energy of others and then end up parroting them. You can literally do this without even having any understanding that you're doing it. It's that common that you can just end up parroting someone else around you. Maybe because you really like their energy, or you like the way they're dressed, or they have something that you're really attracted to on some level, but you're not aware of it. Maybe they are running their own spiritual grouping, or you find them very charismatic and you just sort of take on that person's energy around you in an effort to fit in with the grouping, but you may not be understanding that that energy may not be for your highest good. And we're not really taught that, like, in all honesty, and how I sort of view things, I feel like these types of things should be taught in school, but we're not taught them. Like it's for me, it's understanding of energy and the psychic realms, boundaries, a strong sense of self, and healthy self-esteem, and knowing who you are, and that's on the energetic and soul level. And once you know that, you're able to decipher between energies really easily, and also stay centered within yourself, within group dynamics, without taking on or wearing other people's energy and then simply just parroting the energy around you. It's really common if you look in group dynamics and no one really questions anything. They just sort of parrot back someone's saying, oh yeah, I'm going to say that too. It's a parroting. And Yeah, so yeah, it happens when we try on some level to fit and we may not be aware of it. And what can happen is you can start dressing like them. You can start doing what they're doing. You can lose your own ethics, morals, and integrity in your own spirit pathway. Um, just by wearing someone else's energy and thinking that is where you're meant to be going without really tuning in to your own energy body and your own sense of self and seeing if this is for you or not. And a lot of the times in these groupings, you'll find that people will be regurgitating the same thing and it'll be a very similar energy. And if you're not in that energy, almost subconsciously in an effort to be a part of the group, you could just start to parrot. And then I've had something happen to me where I've left a situation and then I was like, well, that was not my energy that I just experienced. It's very common. So, yes, and also this can happen on the internet where you go and watch things and ingest things, and then you're like, this person is for me, but are they? Are you tuning in to see if this person's energy for you? You can do this with spiritual teachings. You can look at someone online and think, I'm going, and you'll just take on and regurgitate someone else's information without really tuning in to see if that's what you actually think and feel. And so you get these group movements almost, and no one really questions anything, and it's very interesting. Yeah, and if you are one of those people that tends to parrot things and you lose your sense of self easily in groupings, a really good and it's so common because there's so many people on the earth, you know what I mean? And no one really teaches us how to cultivate that really strong sense of our own inner spirit. And essentially, what you're wanting to do, if you want to start cultivating and understanding the stronger sense of self, so you're not parroting, you can go and join different many things and still be in yourself, in your own energy. A really good exercise to do would be to tune into the heart space when you leave group dynamics or you ingest things online, to take a moment and just ask yourself, how would you say? You'd say your name, like Bailey. Is this for me, and am I resonant with this? So you need to take a break, stop, and ask yourself, am I really resonant with this? And then you'll feel it. If you're not used to tuning into your resonance and your own attunement to spirit, you may take a while for you to really hear if this is my energy or someone else's energy. But once you cultivate it and you practice that often, you'll find that you'll be able to decipher very quickly between energies and not parrot other people around you. It's so common. I think especially in the spiritual pathway, you want to find somewhere where you belong. You want to find teachings that are going to help you, and you may ingest teachings or books or stuff that aren't really your unique spirit pathway. And so it's really important to tune in with your own resonance as you're a unique soul. There's many things that go on around us, and it's a very good way to attune to the spirit and your inner resonance, to just stop and ask yourself, am I enjoying this right now? Is this group of people for me? Are these spiritual teachings for me? Am I resonant with this person's energy, and is it for me right now? It's so important to just tune in with the resonance. And okay, I'm just going to talk a little bit about how energy transference and energy and aura jumping can happen. So what can happen is that also if you spend a lot of time around people who don't have a strong sense of self, what can happen is that their energy can transfer into your energy field, and you can take on their energies without realizing. I think I said that, but it's really common. I've seen this happen a lot, where energies will jump between auras. So if someone's holding a lot of entity attachments or shadow, darker, heavier, let's say heavier energies, and they're not very positive, or those energies can affect you and jump into your aura just by association or you ingesting that information. And you could find on some subconscious level you start thinking and feeling like this person, and it's not really your own thoughts and feelings. It's so common. It's so common. And that's how you get parroting. And especially if you spend a lot of time in groupings or you have like a weekly group, you could find that a lot of other people's energies jump into your aura, and you could start feeling insecure, lost, I don't know where I'm going, and then you leave the group and you feel fine. That's a really big sign that that resonance or that grouping of energy is not for you. If you leave a group of people and then you feel fine, you feel clarified, empowered, and then you enter back into the group, or you're gone out somewhere with a group of people and you feel insecure, lost, you'll most likely have taken on the energy around you, and you leave and you'll find that's a really good tune into the resonance and ask yourself. And these things always serve as a source of discernment and helping us find people in groupings and spiritual energies that are more resonant and empowering for us. And this also hones your energetic discernment and your psychic ability to discern energies if you just tune in with the resonance and attune with the heart, because the heart and your spirit knows best. And also what tends to happen in spirituality is that people tend to try and love everyone, and that is not quite how we're working on the earth at this moment. And so attunement to the heart and your own inner resonance is the way to decipher where you should be putting your energies and what groupings or teachings, or even out and about in the everyday real world, whom you should be resonating with. Yes, and it's important. Sometimes we feel a bit icky around people. It's okay. You know, you're feeling someone's energy and it's not for you. And it's okay to just say, you know, this person isn't for me. And you're allowed to decide and choose for yourself where you want to put your energy. And yeah, energy transference is just so common and it can happen so easily. And this also will help you with psychic boundaries and discernment by tuning into the resonance and not parroting other people, and deciding for yourself and building up that strong sense of the inner self. It's very common. Okay, thank you so much for watching.